Thank you for purchasing a bamboo headliner from bamboomwagons.com. You're going to love it. For a split window bus, the installation is actually very easy, but this video will demonstrate the install process and hopefully make it even easier. Now before we begin, it's important to understand that there are many different models of split window bus. There's sometimes even variations within the same year. So what you're about to see may or may not all take place within the same bus, this bus, or it may be a mixture of different buses, but whatever you're about to see, I'm going to work hard to make sure that you see the video that matches your exact bus and your exact year. If for whatever reason it doesn't, just contact me and I'll send you the right video. Let's get started. First, remove the rear dome light. Then remove the vent trim plate. Now, standard and deluxe buses had headliners in them originally, which means that they, along the airbox here and along the front, would have a bunch of metal headliner clamps. You, however, have a commercial panel van or a combi. That means that it didn't really have a headliner, it just had kind of a board here. And so you'll have a channel here on the side of the airbox that the board used to insert into, a channel here, and then a channel here along the side, the outside edge of the bus. So what we're going to start by doing is we're going to grab first our hardboard supports, and these are all labeled on the front by letter, and they have a corresponding styrofoam spacer. Now, these two things working together is what creates a framework for your bamboo headliner to hang from. Now, we're going to, in order to place this correctly, there's a screw in the middle of your fresh air box, and this is going to go right above that into the channel that your board used to go into. Okay, get it in there all the way. Now, you'll notice over here you have an inner channel and you have an outer edge, I guess, toward the roof. This is going to go on the outside, okay? Make sure it goes on the outside, so just bend it back gently. Bend it, don't break it. Okay? Again, just center it right above the screw, right in the middle. That's how you know it's placed correctly. And then you're going to take your styrofoam spacer and just wedge this up underneath here. And center that. Okay, good. After doing both fronts, we're going to move on to the middle. And that is hardboard piece C. All right? Now this goes right exactly between these two windows. So you're just going to get it right up in there. It's going to come straight across, but remember that it's not going to line up exactly between your two cargo doors because one cargo door is thinner and one is thicker. So it's from your vantage point, it's going to come exactly straight across from between these two windows on the other side. Okay? Now, on the inside of your bus roof, you can feel up here with your finger. There's kind of an outer ledge, and then there's like an inner trench, like a little channel. This is very, very important. For the entire rest of the installation, these hardboard supports must be pulled into that inner channel, okay? So you're going to grab this, and you're going to pull it into the inner channel. If it ever, at any point in the installation, pops out of that channel, you've got to grab it, you've got to pull it inward. Now that that's up, we're going to take one of our larger styrofoam pieces and we're going to jam it up on top. Make sure that it's centered. Grab the edges again and pop it into that inner channel. Always, always, always. You got to keep checking that during the installation, the hardboard supports remain in that inner channel. Keep pulling in, always, okay? Let's move on to hardboard piece E. So we've got hardboard support E. We're going to do the exact same thing. This goes centered right between these two windows. If you've got a deluxe, if you only have an 11 window, that's okay. So you won't have this back window, but there will still be a seam right here. Just center it right over that. That's fine. So right in between the two, pop into the inner channel. Make sure we get it right. Do the same on the other side. Okay? And then stuff your styrofoam up there. All right, looking good. Let's move on to the next step. Now, hardboard supports B, D, and F are a little bit different because they go screwed into these metal roof supports. So we're going to start with B, all right? And these are labeled which way should go forward and which way should go inward, so make sure to use the right piece. As you can see, this is going to go toward the front of the bus, this is going to go toward the inside of the bus. So it should look like that, all right? You're going to take this hardboard support and push it as far outward as you can, and that means that when you screw it in, there's going to be like an inch or an inch and a half gap between the hardboard support and the air vent box. That's good, you want that. So we're gonna take a drill with a 1/8 inch bit. It doesn't have to be too perfect, but do try to center it on the metal support here. Drill, and then screw. Hardboard support D goes right up against this metal roof support. You probably want to bend it downward first and then snap it up. Watch your fingers. Inner channel and inner channel. All right. Then you're going to fish through your little dome light wire. And just like before, we're going to drill and screw. Here we are now at the rear hatch of the bus for hardboard support F. Now again, pay attention to which way is facing forward. This arrow should be facing toward the front of the bus. Quick note, you might have some pointy things here. Just ignore them for now. Just don't poke yourself, that's all. You're going to take this hardboard support and we're going to do the same thing. Just center it, drill and screw. Now what you've got should look like this. A nice, flat, even, and sturdy surface to hang our bamboo headliner from. We'll start by removing all the tape from the hardboard supports. Now you're going to take your actual bamboo headliner piece and we're going to start from the back, and we're going to slide it forward. We're going to insert it into the channel on the outside edge of the bus here. So it's going to go into this channel, okay, the inner channel, and into this channel up front, but it does not need to go, in fact it can't even go into this channel because this hardboard support is blocking it. So it's not going to go into this channel, just these two. Get it down in there and then slide it forward. This takes a little strength and patience, perhaps. Okay, that's pretty good. It's always good to push forward and pound up, straight up in the center, and that helps just situate it where it needs to be. Okay, very good. Now this might hang a little bit. Probably this screw will keep it from falling all the way down, the screw in the middle. And then, to make this permanent, this is just kind of hanging here, but what makes it permanent is your bamboo trim strip. Now these are all labeled by by number on the back side. And it tells you which side goes out and which side goes in if it's important. So again, this is going to go right up underneath that hardboard that we just put. So you're going to center this above that center screw. Get this over into this side. And then we're going to attach it using your colored screws. So drill a little pilot hole. Be very careful doing this. And then screw using your colored screws, and this is what is going to hold it permanently into place. Just go snug, don't over tighten. Alright, so that is solid as a rock. It's not going to move for anything in the world. Let's do the same for the other side. Alright, the front part of the bus looks good. Again, the pieces are nice and flush against the airbox, and they're held permanently and firmly in place because of the bamboo trim strip. That's what holds it permanently. We're going to forego bamboo trim strip number 2 for now. We're going to wait till the end for that. What we're going to do right now is the exact same thing for the middle section of the bus. We're going to take our middle headliner piece. We're going to fill up this whole area, and then we're going to put one bamboo trim strip, which is number 3, bamboo trim strip number 3, right here down the middle. This is where an extra pair of hands really comes in handy, if you've got one. Here, let's see, I got this upside down. Okay, so you're going to take one bamboo edge, and you're going to shimmy it down underneath each one of these, being very careful not to pop this out of the inner channel that it's in. If it pops out, you've got to pop it back. If it pops out, you have to pop it back. It always has to be in that inner channel. I apologize that you can't see me too good right now. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. Alright, so I've got it in the edge over there, and all we're going to do is we're going to push it forward as far as we can, right up into this air box, okay, at the very top part of this air vent. And we're just going to roll it across and push up hard on this tape, and that'll hold it in place for 5 minutes or 10 maybe, so that we can get the bamboo trim strip right here in the middle, okay? Roll it across and push forward, making sure it touches that air vent box. Don't push hard until you're sure it's in place. Make sure not to let a few minutes go by without pushing up on the tape, just in case it decides it wants to fall down. Then you'll shimmy it under the hardboard supports on this side. It does fit very precisely, don't it? Okay, so that's in, and we're going to put bamboo trim strip right here down the middle, bamboo trim strip number 3. Alright, so we got bamboo trim strip 3. We're going to butt it up right against this edge here, right in the middle between these two windows. We're going to make sure it goes straight across. Does that look straight to you? Almost. That's pretty straight. Okay. Now, if you have a raw light or a raw dark headliner, probably the best thing to do is just screw with the screwdriver directly. But if you have a tortoise or a chocolate, this still has the bamboo skin on it, so it's sometimes good to drill a pilot hole, not all the way through, just through the very first layer of bamboo. You don't want to go through the hardboard, because the hardboard is what you need this to screw into. Not necessary, it's just a help. And that's only if you have the tortoise or the chocolate, because once again, they still have the bamboo skin on them, and that's a little tougher. Raw light and raw dark, you don't have to do that. And now the middle headliner piece is held permanently in place because of bamboo trim strip number 3. As you can see, it's butted as far forward as it can possibly get against this air vent. And there's a gap between the front and the middle sections. That's okay, just ignore it for now. We'll get to it at the end, promise. Let's move on to the rear piece. Alright, you know the drill by now. We're going to take the rear headliner piece and we're going to put it up and then put bamboo trim strip number 5 right down here, down the middle. Now the front of this piece should overlap onto this, and the rear should overlap onto this, in fact onto this metal roof support on the back here. Here we go. So you shimmy it down underneath the hardboard supports. Get it down there good. And then you just start to, slip the little, there we go. You just start to roll it across, make sure it's straight. This one tends to go crooked just because of the shape of the bus back here. If it goes a little crooked, it's okay, but not too crooked. That's too crooked. We gotta push it back a little. All right. So mash it up there nice and good. There we go. Now it's good. All right. Now again, you can see there's a little gap here. That's okay. Ain't no big deal. But what you do want to do is remember to fish the dome light wire out of here so that we can put that back. Alright, we'll put up trim strip number 5. Alright, it's looking good. Now at the very rear of the bus, there's a diagonal metal piece. You're going to take your far rear bamboo headliner piece, and there's 3 holes in the bottom of that. And you're going to drill and screw into that diagonal piece, make it flush with the bottom. And make sure to center it, because if you don't center it, your hatch might not shut correctly. The arms might get in the way. So use those holes to drill and screw. And then finally pull that piece taut and drill and screw, overlapping the 2 pieces and drilling into the metal up above. Then take trim strip 4, and here, remember there's some metal up above, so that means you're going to have to drill and screw. Make sure to fish your dome light wire through. And of course do the same with trim strip number 2. Then just replace your dome light and the vent trim.